Good evening, viewers. Welcome to this night session. Our guest tonight is Vijay Prasad ji, BJP spokesperson. Welcome, sir.
Very good evening, Meena. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me on your
Always
show.
a pleasure. Yeah, always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So we'll jump straight to the issue in hand, Vijay ji. See, since a war is ongoing and we really don't know what's happening, because even today there were two incidents of bombing in UAE, and which means Abu Dhabi and Dubai airport, as well as in Abu Dhabi. So when you think that there is a lull, the fight continues from Iran side as well. Now, my question to you is: do you think the US-Iran war will be a decisive war, or will it drag on for months like the Russian-Ukraine war?
Yeah, thank you very much, Meena. This is exactly, you have taken up the right question at the right time. See, as far as India is concerned, India's position, what I always say is three Ds: de escalation, diplomacy, and dialogue. This is key to any country for that matter. As far as India is concerned, we believe in three Ds: de escalation, diplomacy, and dialogue. These three are the most relevant one. See, what happens is when the conflict escalates, it destabilizes the world order. We always say avoid hitting infrastructures and avoid hitting civilians. So what happens is, in this kind of war, nobody will be in a position to listen to any country for that matter. Having said that, as of today, India is the only country which believes in three Ds: de-escalate, diplomacy, and dialogue. And if you see any of our government officials, especially the Ministry of External Affairs or the Prime Minister as such, if you see these leaders, they are the ones who are propagating these three Ds. So India always believes in three Ds: de-escalate, diplomacy, and dialogue. To answer your question, this war, I don't think this will drag on for like they say Russia and Ukraine war. There are a couple of reasons. There are a couple of reasons for it. And what I feel is because there are many countries who are involved and have say in the what we call it as the Strait of Hormuz. Economic activity of each country is at stake now. So the war might stop, but the geopolitical repercussions might be spread across for quite a longer span of time. So the if you take for the matter, economic activity of each country is at stake today, and most of the Asian part of the countries are dependent on the Strait of Hormuz. It can be for the LNG, oil, and if these two supplies affect, the insurance on the shipping cost will also increase, and the people's energy requirement is also at stake. So the war, see, as far as the military, if you look into the various reports of various defense analysts, and including our defense analysts, this war might prolong for around 4 to 6 weeks. But the geopolitical repercussions might spread across for quite some time, because in this war, when the war started, there were only three countries involved: US, Israel, and Iran. It escalated so fast that today there are 21 countries who are involved in this war, directly or indirectly. But as far as India is concerned, we have always propagated for three Ds: because we have certain vested interest and we have to take care of our energy interest.
Yeah.
Our 1.4 billion people's energy interest is at stake. At the same time, 9 million Indians are spread across the Middle East. So these are at stake for India, and at this point of time, India will not take any sides for that matter. India is very clear. India is very clear as far as what they want to see. The policies. Nation first is the policy. People first is the policy, and then we have to serve the 1.4 billion people. So having said all these things, I don't think as a layman, having read so many reports, watching the defense, what the defense analyst says, this war might not drag on like Russia and Ukraine war, the Russian-Ukraine war. But what we have to try to mitigate at this point of time is the geopolitical spectrum that affects the later point of time. That we have to be very careful on that matter.
Yeah. Vijay, you have written a very interesting article in Raksha Anirveda, which is India's leading defense magazine, on the net, about oil war in India. And you argue that the Strait of Hormuz is a major vulnerability for India's energy security.
Yep.
How do you assess the probability versus impact of a complete closure of the strait?
See, it's a known fact, Mamina. It's a known fact that Hormuz is a vulnerable route for not only for India. There are 9 countries. Major countries, major economic driven countries who are dependent on this Strait of Hormuz. See, and having said that, India, what I say is India has got vested interest because 35 to 40% of our oil supplies comes from Strait of Hormuz. So we have a vested interest, and we have to take care, again, what I said earlier, we have to take care of the energy security of our country, and 1.4 people's energy requirement, we have to take care of it. So, at any point of time, we cannot forego this was dependent on the Strait of Hormuz. Having said that, we are not only depending on the Strait of Hormuz. At the same time, we have other channels as well. While we import from Strait of Hormuz, we have as of today, India is importing oil from, say, Russia, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, United States, Kuwait, West Africa, Latin America, other Middle East countries. See, Russia, and the route is Russia, 34 to 37% comes from Russia, and the route for them is Black Sea. Iraq, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, all comes from Strait of Hormuz. So 35 to 40% of the requirement comes from there, and West Africa is around 5 to 6%. It comes from the Atlantic Ocean route. So if you consider these things, India is very well placed as far as the security, as far as the oil requirement is concerned. And if you see the oil prices in the country, it has remained extremely stable in the last 4 years. Because of the Modi's leadership, and our country's strategic relationship with so many countries. We are friendly with so many countries. The other countries might be going on for war with other countries, but as far as India is concerned, we are maintaining a balanced relationship with all these countries, So at this point of time, even we are extremely well placed as far as our oil requirement is concerned. We are safely placed for the requirements. I don't see any panic that should be created at this point of time, so that we don't send a wrong signals to the people of this country. And as far as this one concerned, the Hormuz is concerned, at this point of time, what we have to also keep in mind is to keep our prices stable, and energy requirement of the country is also taken care at this point of time.
So what would you say about the Iranian warship that has docked in Cochin waters? See, because a lot of the journalists are trying to reach over and get some bite from them. So, how do you see this situation?
See, whatever the ship that has been docked in Cochin, so that was the ship which was already on the Indian waters, and they were already on the Indian waters on the Indian waters before the escalation of the wars happened. So when they sent an SOS today, our Ministry of External Affairs has answered exactly the same thing. I'm repeating the same thing what he answered. Okay, so if you look into that the requirement, they asked for the safe passage. We said yes. They come to this one. Now they were all cadets. They were on the Indian waters for the fleet exercise, and so they have been stationed here. They have been stationed here. So as of now, no, and these things happened. These things have happened before the war started.
Yeah,
Before the war started. So at this point of time, they are all safe here. It is more about the human consideration.
absolutely.
We have to show our human consideration at this point of time,
Yeah,
Amina. So we have allowed them to dock here. We are taking care of them. The country might be at war at that war. It is not it is not India's war. India is not concerned about that war. But we are always careful about
yeah,
our whoever comes to us for for as a SOS. So we
yeah.
have extremely shown our human side of the country. Human side of the country. They are docked here.
Yeah. Also, Vijayji, very interestingly, there are many voices coming from Iran, of women telling, people who are protesting in India, with sorrow for Khomeini's death, saying that, see, please do not do this sort of drama because we are the ones who are living in Iran and we know how we have suffered under his regime. So please do not, think that you know what life was like under Khomeini. So there is a very strong voice coming from Iran saying that India should be, the people who are protesting about, the death of Khomeini and how we should be sort of sympathizing is they are saying very clearly, you all are not the ones who are living there. We are the ones who have been there and been suffering.
See, I have a different take on this. See, diplomacy, there cannot be appeasement in diplomacy.
Yeah,
When it comes to diplomacy, nations comes first. Okay, nation is the priority for us. So we cannot take sides. There cannot be appeasement in diplomacy. So we have to see the larger picture. We have to see the larger picture here. See, rather than commenting on a particular community, community. So we have to see the larger picture. What lies ahead for us? What lies ahead for us? So the people back here who are commenting. We have seen in social media, newspaper reports, even the opposition leaders are telling left, right, and center that India is not commenting or ridiculing America for the death of Khomeini. Even we are not shedding tears. There is no condolence message. No. If you look carefully, if you look into our the previous episode of how Iran intervened in India's Article 370 abrogation during our CAA protest, and when the Pahalgam killings happened, we have seen you cannot erase the history so fast, Amina. The government is well aware of it, and we exactly know how to react for all these things. See, the people who are shedding crocodile tears here. See, rather than their services are not required in Republic of India. Their services are more required in Republic of Iran. Probably
Yeah.
who are trying to shed crocodile tears. Probably I feel they have to shift back to Republic of Iran, do their services there. That country will be more benefited rather than this country. That is my take on that, Kamina.
Yeah. In fact, Lena is saying these protesting women and men should be sent to Iran. Did Iran ask Shias to protest inside India? So these are relevant points, agreeing with you. And also, there's an important point coming from Shanmugam. He says central government has taken the right initiative by banning the TRP ratings in the media.
Yeah, see, what happens is, I mean, at this point of time, initially, when the war started, some images were coming. It can be photo images or the video
Yeah.
images. Later on, when the war escalated, the social media was flooded with n number of videos. It was finding it very difficult. Which is a real footage, which is a
Yeah.
AI-driven footage. So it was very difficult, and it was see, there are certain propagandists who try to push and try to create a panic among the public
Yeah.
within India or outside India or in the war one-torn countries. By pushing this video, the gullible people are the ones who believes in that video. So the television, this one, they have the Ministry of Broadcasting has taken extremely right decision at this point of time to stop this TRP rating, so that even the media houses or the many videos, and see, we have seen many people commenting, saying that when they are reading the news or when the program is coming, we cannot confirm whether it is a real footage
Yeah.
or a AI footage. So
Yes.
that disclaimer is already coming up. That disclaimer is already coming up. So instead of creating a panic among the citizens, it is the right way to stop these TRP ratings, stop these the channels, stop these channels by airing such AI generated videos. And people, this is the last time to create panic among the people
Yeah.
of the country, or whoever it is.
In fact, one of the channels, one of the mainstream channels, was even talking about a nuclear bomb. And it was, in fact, Twitter, a lot of the people told them that these such channels should be banned, because instead of trying to create peace, they're trying to create chaos. And as you said, unnecessary.
There are many fake handles within India who tries to sympathize with Pakistan, our neighboring countries, whom we are not having a very good relationship. They have sympathizers within the country, and they try to push those kind of videos. And today I was watching some other channel where the sympathizers have started pushing a fake narrative, saying that blaming India for that this one. India is saying sorry for that. No, such things, and Ministry of External Affairs has immediately stepped in, and they have clearly said this is a fake narrative. Please don't fall for this kind of propaganda. So we have to be really careful at this point of time. Anything can happen.
Yeah. So moving on to China, Vijayji, do you see China supporting Iran in this war eventually?
See, likewise, I said, China will be the last thing to get into this kind of military exercise. Probably they might support Iran or any other country. They might give some diplomatic support. Okay. So having said that, China will not get into some confrontational mode with US, because China needs America, and America needs China. So at the same time, China also imports a lot of oil from this Strait of Hormuz. So they have like India, even they have their vested interest, and almost the 35, 40 to 45% of their oil produce requirement comes from this Strait of Hormuz. So I don't see any reason why China should also get into this war and make it more complicated. Make it, first of all, this war is more complicated now. 21 countries have come in directly or indirectly. If China comes in, and this becomes more complicated, and the world, first of all, the geopolitical situation is so volatile, and probably if China steps in, it will become even more complicated. The burden will increase. The burden will increase. It will not, as India propagates. China might not. I don't see. I have not, even till today. I have not seen China saying de-escalate the war, come for a dialogue, come for
Yeah,
diplomacy.
they've not.
I have not seen any such kind of statement directly or indirectly from China.
Yeah.
So I don't see they might get into the military exercise. Probably they, to a certain extent, they might give some diplomatic support. That's what I feel.
So Lena is asking you, has China got scared with America's minute man doomsday test?
See, it will be. As I said earlier, China will be the last one to get into confrontational mode with US. Even after the war stops, China needs the US and US needs China. It is a give and take policy. So yeah, China will be the last one to get scared at this point of time. China has their own take in this one, and they are whatever the reports that we are seeing today. China is having a very careful watch on its oil capacity, oil requirements. That is what their main concern should be.
Yeah. So moving on to Pakistan. Now Pakistan is left with 26 days of fuel. Now, do you think it's going to implode?
See, for me, for India is least concerned about what happens in Pakistan and what is the Pakistan's position. See, Pakistan is fighting with Afghanistan and fighting among themselves, and there is too much of internal conflict. Our India's focus is elsewhere. Pakistan is before the war, during the war, and after the war. Pakistan is under severe economic constraint. Pakistan is facing severe domestic unrest, which is hurting them very badly. Whether Pakistan gets a doomsday, we are not concerned about it. We are not concerned about it. It is for the Pakistan to handle their situation, which side to take. It is up to them. As far as India, whether they're as far as our oil is concerned, we are safe as of now. Even today, the petroleum minister. I was just this happened only just today evening. I will give you what the government has said. Government has said on the oil requirement. 1 second, I will show you this. Yeah. What the India's energy system is prepared and resilient. Don't fall for panic. Facts. What it says. It is released by the government of India, by the Press Bureau of Information. 250 million barrels of crude oil and fuel stocks are available. 7 to 8 week supply buffer across storage and supply system. 258 MMTPA refining capacity, more than domestic consumption. Ground reality is no petrol pump shortages in 12 years. Fuel prices stable for 4 years. This is enough for me to take care of my country. So what happens in Pakistan? I am least concerned. I am least bothered about it, Meena. I should be the last one to be concerned about Pakistan. And we Indians should be least concerned about what happens in Pakistan.
Yeah. So do you believe that the energy security should be treated as a military security issue or primarily an economic policy issue for India?
See, in my opinion, India has always advocated for three Ds. What I said earlier: de-escalate, diplomacy, and dialogue. Military exercise or military, this one is all. It's never been an option for India. It's never been an option for India. And at this point of time, what we always take care is what we always propagate is affordability, availability, and stable prices and energy security for 1.4 billion people. These are the things that we always keep in mind. And as of today, since India is not depending only on Strait of Hormuz, as I give the data about the different routes, Russia route, Middle East route, and Atlantic route. If you see these routes and the position what we have today, 90% of our energy requirement, the fuel supply is taken care of. To a certain extent, the Hormuz might have been affected. Very minuscule. This one has been affected because of the ongoing situation in these places. But otherwise, India will be the last country to get into this military exercise just because of the security, just because of the energy security. But we have maintained our stocks in such a way that at any point of time, if the local demands is always met, it comes at the same time we always propagate nation first policy, affordability, and availability, and energy requirement for the 1.4 billion. These are the things that we always take decision. Keep in mind when we take a decision from the larger perspective, from the larger interest.
Yeah. So what you said is very true, because the way the Prime Minister is juggling, all the issues and still keeping India stable, I mean, it is a magnificent feat. Because I don't think in such a large country for a leader to do all this without hurting feelings here and there is quite a task.
Yeah. See,
And
I am. This is time for the hats off. Hats off to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Narendra Modi ji for keeping the nation first policy, people 1.4 billions interest policy first, and he is doing a wonderful job as a Prime Minister of the nation, and each and every country is looking up to India and
yeah,
Narendra Modi's leadership, and they are requesting the Prime Minister of this country to intervene and stop the war.
yeah,
Stop the war, and they are asking India to mediate between their countries' dialogue. This is
yeah,
what country has been today in the last 12 years, Meena. This is
yeah,
the leadership. This is the leadership what the world wants. See, I will
yeah,
tell you one simple example. Simple example. When the war started, when the war escalated to the second and third day, on one side of the Middle East, bombs were dropping, drones were dropping, and infrastructure was getting bombed. Back here, the Prime Minister of the nation, Prime Minister of our country, Narendra Modi ji, was inaugurating semiconductor factories. You see the contrast. So this is the leadership what each and every country expects their leaders to be. And India is the only country at this point of time who is progressing at a very, very large scale now. India is safe. India is safe under Narendra Modi, and I and you are sleeping peacefully in the night because of our
yeah,
army, because of our leadership capabilities, and because of our external affairs ministers, strategic diplomatic relationship, and there are and our of course our internal security, and thanks to our home minister as well, Amit Shah ji.
So Shadmukam says, very true, exemplary job by our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. And
Yeah.
there's another point that Leena is making. When will we go for its own oil that is in Andaman Nicobar Island India has to become self-reliant in oil.
See, my take is yes, India should be in the coming days. India will be self-reliant. Self-reliant. We have already started this Atmanirbhar Bharat, and why not in the oil sector? Why not Atmanirbhar in the oil sector as well?
Yeah.
And wherever our government is exploring the capabilities there, how much oil can be sufficient, whether we have that capability to refine and supply to the commercial use, the government is taking care of it, and the government is already on the job. The government is already on the job. When we are Atmanirbhar in so many sectors, why not even in the oil sector as well? That's what my take is, Meena.
So moving on to India, back to India, and specifically, we're talking about Karnataka.
Yeah.
The budget on Friday seems to weigh very heavily on minority benefits, and it seems very shocking because it seems like other religions don't exist at all. I mean, everything is going into their, pockets. What's happening here, Vijayji?
See, I would like to say, Karnataka was always a progressive state. It was number one state in FDI, number one state in startup, number one state in manufacturing, number one state in startup ecosystem, number one state in the industrial policy. See, while you're drafting a budget, your priority should be the state, not your vote bank. The priority should be your state, not your vote bank. When you have appeasement in your mind and soul, then what happens is your actual budget, what you're trying to present, takes a back seat. The minorities has been given 1,000 crores for various schemes in 26-27. At the same time, none of the Hindu temples got any money for the restoration. So what happens is the question comes rather than me asking the question, the common man of Karnataka has already started. You're collecting tax from Hindus and giving all the benefits to the minorities. For Congress, minority, who comes under minority? Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, and Buddhists. Parsis, you forget Parsis, they're very, very minuscule. Okay. For Muslims, for Congress, minority means only Muslims.
Yeah.
So when your mind and soul is towards your appeasement politics and your vote bank politics, this is what happens. What you are doing at one point of time, you should see the numbers. See, 22,000 crore deficit. Loans have increased to 8.24 lakh crores. And in this year itself, 26-27, you are projected to take outside external loans up to around 1.32 lakh crores. So that means to say and at the same time, how much are you keeping for the multiplier effect projects? When I'm saying multiplier effect projects, I meant about the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure has increased only by around 4%. 4%. And where do you create jobs for it? There is no job for it. The job market is totally crashed in Karnataka, and neither the investment is coming. The manufacturers are setting up their factory in Karnataka because of the bad industrial policy and too much of bureaucratic, too much of corruption in the bureaucracy. And then what kind of government? Where is the infrastructure? When you can give 1,000 crores for the minority upliftment and 2,250 crores for digging up the Bangalore roads, where are the roads? Where are the roads? Potholes. How much are you our neighboring Andhra Pradesh is giving 1 rupee per this one as the electricity consumption. Here, Karnataka is 9 rupees to 10 rupees. Why you tell me, Amina, why will the industrial come to Karnataka? When you don't have a conducive industrial environment, why will the people come to Karnataka? Like I said, you have to prepare and draft a budget by keeping the state in mind. But if you do your budget, by keeping your vote bank politics in your mind and do the budget, we end up taking loans. We end up taking loans to repay the. We end up taking loans to repay the previous loans, and you don't have any money left for your development. This is what happens. The financial one thing what these people say is, as per FRBM, financial regulation management, fiscal management, it is well within the range of 3%. But if you take out all these things, it will go beyond 6%. The financial management is totally mismanaged managed in Karnataka, and the finances are not good at all at this point of time.
Yeah. So, Lina is saying, why is there no accountability for corruption, no punishment, no fast track courts? And she also makes another point: the word minority has to be redefined. 200 million plus can't be minority. Appeasement politics going on, which is what you said.
See, what I think I agree with Lena. What she's trying to say on the 200 million plus of the minority. Yeah, we have to revise, and we have to revise what is minority as far as that is concerned. How are we going to address that? We have to pragmatically think and see what best can be do. Is really poor minority are getting those benefits, or they diseased of the benefits. We have to really think and take positive steps towards that.
Yeah. Shanmugam says vote banks and freebies are detrimental to the state. It has ruined Tamil Nadu.
See, the freebies, if you see Bihar and Madhya Pradesh, the government has announced freebies. Okay. Freebies, if it really reaching the right, really reaching the poor, that's fine. But is it reaching the right benefit? Are you taking loans to give the freebies? That is the first question I would like to ask. Are you managing within the freebies? Are you managing the freebies within your budget limit? That's fine. If it is reaching the right section of the society, if it is reaching the poor, you have to take care of your finances on your own. There is no fun in taking loan and giving the freebies. Absolutely, we are totally against that. If you can manage within your finances, if you can manage within your budget, if it is reaching the poorest of the poor, that's fine for it. That's what my take is.
Yeah. Lina says, sir, those who convert should never get benefits.
Yeah, see, what she says is correct. See, if you have converted, you should be the first person to come out of it and give up voluntarily. That should come within you. And there are so many conversions that happens across the state, across the country, and it is you who have to come out and say that, okay, I don't want this freebies. I don't want this. Take the benefits. It should start from the people.
So one last point that Shanmugam wants to know. I want to know the prospects of NDA in the coming assembly elections.
See, at this point of time, I feel it is too early to comment on the coming up 2028. The elections in 2028. So it will be too early for us to comment on NDA. As far as the NDA concerned in Karnataka, BJP and JDS are doing very well. They are very going strong and taking on the incumbent government, Congress government. We are taking it together inside the assembly and outside the assembly as well. But as far as the position is concerned, it is too early to say comment on the upcoming elections.
Yeah, it's a simple point that I want to ask you, Vijayji. During the budget, when these people are proposing so many benefits for the minority, what is the role of the opposition?
See, actually, what happens is, it is the budget that is prepared by the ruling government, and we have again said so. We have got a very minuscule role as an opposition when it is giving so much of benefits to the minority. We came out of the assembly. From the assembly starts again from the regroup on Monday. We are going to take this up inside the assembly and outside the assembly as well.
Okay.
We have got very limited role to play, but at the same time, we are showing it to the people how this government is deceiving the Hindus and giving more benefits to the minorities. When the collection happens, when the tax collection happens, they are collecting tax even from the Hindus, but majority of the benefits is going to the minorities. That we are totally taking up during when the budget session starts from Monday onwards. We are taking up inside the assembly and outside the assembly as well.
Yeah. Sadly, it is not the people who decide. So that is the only sad part about it. We can only.
That's the reason why we what we say is when there is too much of in the last 3 years, what is happening? Because see, we all remember what our former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh said. The first right goes to the minorities. The first right goes to the Muslims. So Congress is still in that gungo. The Congress is still in the gungo. And in the last 3 years, what is happening is there is too much of appeasement politics, too much of vote bank politics. And whatever you give, whatever you do, right from the policies, the schemes, you keep your vote bank politics in your mind. And when the start happens is the other people feel they're let out from this from the budget allocations, and probably if you see the after the budget, if you see the comments that has come in the public domain, people have fed up of this government because of the vote bank and appeasement politics.
So coming back to what Shanmugam said, he actually meant the Tamil Nadu. So I mean 2026 in Tamil Nadu. So he's talking about NDA, the position of NDA.
Yeah, see, I think it will be, as a BJP person, I can comment on Tamil Nadu, and we have got very good prospects as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, we are safely positioned, and people are, the Tamil Nadu people are fed up with the DMA politics, Dravidian politics, and the corruption, what the DMK has government gotten into, and the no development. And the no development that is happened in the last 5 years. So this time it will be a very decisive election even for the BJP and the NDA parties. Probably as of today, I think NDA is safely placed, and probably in the coming days we might form the government. We are comfortable and we are confident to form the government and to throw away the DMK government. I am confident about it.
So only one last point from Leena. Why are Hindus voting for Congress? Why doesn't government release Hindu temples?
See, it is, when I will answer the second question first. Hindu temples, it's a state subject. The state has to take care of it. Whether the second, I will come to the first question now. Whether Hindus voting for Congress, it is up to the each individual whom they vote for, and they have to understand why they are voting, what for they are voting. Okay, when it comes to there are certain section of the people who are voting for the BJP. Why they vote for the BJP? Because BJP always believe in nation first, security of the people first, and individual last. This is the ideology which party proposes, party propagates. And with these things in mind, people vote for us. People believe in us. And in the last 12 years, the country is in the safe hands because they have voted for BJP. You can imagine the country's situation if Congress had come to power in 2014. Oh my God, I and you will not be talking like this. I and you will not be talking like this, Meena.
Yeah, very interesting, Vijay. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I think we went a little overboard now, with 10 minutes ahead. So thank you so much. Very interesting talking to you as usual.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on my show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jai Hind, Jai Shri.
Jai Hind. Jai Shri Ram. Namaskar.